welcome to the July 2023 full moon in Capricorn energy forecast. That's a bit of a mouthful. Thank you for being here. My name is Charlotte Elea Dovechild. I am a new earth priestess, and once a moon at the full moon, I come on and draw some cards for us and give a little forecast of what energies are present for us cosmically, earthly, so that we can really utilize this energy for the highest good, for our own highest good, for the collective, move through what we're meant to move through, activate what we're meant to activate, manifest what we're meant to manifest, and really be in alignment with our own evolutionary paths. So let's dive in, shall we? I use the Tarot of the Spirit. This is what it looks like. It's by Pamela and Joyce Eakins. And I draw 4 cards. So the first card I draw is our lesson. The second is the shadow we are integrating. The third is the gift we are receiving. And the fourth is our wild card. So what other surprising energies we might encounter during this time. And I release this at the full moon, but really these energies are working for us over the next couple weeks. Like, for example, we have a node shift coming up on, I think that it's July 17, where the south node of the moon is moving into Libra and the north node is moving into Aries. And that's a big energy shift for us all that I'm already noticing coming through the cards. And it's 2 weeks away. So let's dive in right away, shall we? And by the way, I might be going like this because it is 103 degrees outside right now. It is heating up here in the Central California coastal areas. Okay, so our first card, our lesson, and I think this is a new card for us. We have a lot of new surprises today, actually. I'm really excited to dive in here. Our lesson is 9 of water. This is 9 of cups in the traditional tarot. It's called the Rainbow Mirror. So this is such a welcome gift. I don't think that we could ask for a more welcome lesson to learn, right? This is not one of those spiky, hairy, okay, I guess I gotta like go through it for my own good, but I don't really want to do this. No, this is a feel-good time, and this is about leaning into the good feels for us all. Okay, so let's break this down. Let's go deeper into this. Let's look at the numerology of 9. So 9s are a culmination and represent a completion, something coming into full fruition. 9 is the last stage of the numerical cycle, right? And so when we're at 9, something has come into fullness within us. And this is in the realm of water. So it's in the realm of our emotional and relational state, our inner world, the realm of our heart, you can say. That's a better way of stating it, because water is more than just our emotions. It's our inner world of feeling, sensory experience of being human. So 9 of water means that there is a dream that has come into full fruition within us. And maybe we're experiencing that dream in current reality right now, but maybe it's living in our hearts. And we have moved ourselves, I should say, through a full cycle of healing, emotional healing, that we are ready to receive this dream, this vision that's living in our hearts. It's not a vision that's in our minds. It's not something that we just see. It's something that we know and that we feel, that is a truth that lives in our hearts, that we know we are ready for this. It's already here inside of us, and it may just not be manifested yet externally, but we're already in the feeling state of it. So we know we are ready because we're already there. And so I love how this is called Rainbow Mirror. And I had this vision when I was meditating with this card of looking at the reflection of oneself in a lake. So if you're standing on the edge of a very clear lake, maybe in the mountains or somewhere very still, and you're kneeling down and you're looking out over into the waters. And the waters, before you did that, were purely reflecting the sky and the clouds. And you peer over and you can see yourself clearly. And the image that you see of yourself is this you inside your heart. So it may not be like what you look like if you look at yourself in the mirror in the bathroom. You're seeing a reflection of your soul self. And then as you touch the water with your finger, the water goes like, whoa, 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 and then these ripples move out, right? And you break up the image and it turns into all these light waves, light patterns. And you see the rainbow. You see the rainbow of you rippling out over the surface of the water. And then as it starts to shift again, it's like that ripple then creates other little ripples and the water is kind of moving and there's all these little rainbows all over, which are all the different aspects of you that have needed then, as the water starts to calm, begin to come back into forming that image of you. So you can see the process of fractalizing into the different colors of you, the different frequencies, and how that creates a ripple effect outward, and then it comes back. So you can see for a moment the different parts of you, and coming back to form a full picture of you. And all these different moments, the rippling out, seeing the different colors, different fractals moving, and then the coming back together to form a full picture, reflecting your soul self, all of this is you. All of this is you. So that is what this is. It's a culmination of it all, where you can look back and recognize those moments where you were all over the place and see, oh my gosh, that was so important that I went through that. And I so appreciate that part of me that went through that had that experience, that reflected this part of me back to myself. Because if I didn't see that, I wouldn't be here where I am right now. And that's a gift. The reason why this is our lesson is because we want to stay steadfast and loyal to what is currently in our hearts, to this culminating moment within our hearts. We want to see this into the next cycle of wherever it's going to take us. Okay, so let's move then into our shadow. I'm actually going to show the next two cards together because it's interesting, and then we'll talk about them one by one. So this is our shadow, Brother Earth. And this is our gift. Aha! Brother Fire. We have two brothers, which are the knights in the traditional tarot. And this is divine masculine energy. And brother represents the element of air. And so this is pure thought moving in action. So often the knights represent action. So Brother Earth, we've had this card come up a few times in previous readings. And the reason why he's coming up as our shadow is because this is energy that can slow us down right now. And as we're seeing from Brother Fire, we don't want to slow down right now. So Brother Earth is energy that is air and earth together. And this can be very practical energy, right? Methodical energy. This is really good when we need to follow a system and also when we need to follow along with the instructions that someone else is giving us. But in this instance, when we are in a fullness within ourselves, a fullness in our heart, when we are being moved by what is in our heart, not within anybody else's, this can actually bring us into a place of self-doubt and procrastination, and almost like we're waiting around looking for permission, looking for somebody else to say, yeah, go ahead, go and do that, looking for validation. And that is not what we are being called to do right now. We really want to instead come into full loyalty and trust with what has manifested within our hearts. This is one of the ways I was actually picking up energy about that node shift, the south node moving into Libra, because Libra's shadow is people pleasing, and Brother Earth is a bit of a people pleaser. And south node is our karma. So this is what we are, almost like the energy that is sort of pulling us backwards, right? And what we are needing to learn and wrap up so that we can move on. The north node is our destiny. That's where we are headed, and that is what we are needing to learn and activate. And this has very Aries energy, and this has very Libra energy. So isn't that really interesting, huh? So we are already starting to learn this lesson of learning to be loyal to ourselves and not to the systems that we have become incredibly loyal to. Even those methodologies and systems that we claim as our own. I think that we are being called to, in this moment, break out of those routines, break out of the normalcy that we have created for ourselves, because that normalcy keeps us in a repeating pattern that doesn't allow for the shifts and changes that our hearts actually really, really want right now. Okay, so then going into Brother Fire, as I said, this is very opposite energy. So Brother Fire is really impulsive. This energy often comes up as a warning, but in this instance, this is our gift. This is our message from Spirit saying, like, you don't need permission, you don't need to wait, you don't need for any sign from the universe. You simply need to trust yourself. Like, stop looking for synchronicities. It's now. The time is now. Just go for it. Trust your full journey. Trust that you are in alignment with the divine, with your highest self, and just freaking do it. So Brother Fire is air and fire. And yes, as I said before, super impulsive, doesn't think before he acts, he just acts. It doesn't even come through as a thought. It literally just moves through his body and he goes. I mean, look at this. He's on the back of a lion and he is simply merged himself with that energy of spirit. So Aries as the north node, Aries is the individual within us, is our I am presence, is our impulse to act and do and go ahead of the whole crowd. Aries is the very first sign in the zodiac. So it leads. It doesn't wait for anybody. So this energy is really asking us to break free from the pack, free from the cultural norm, right? It's not breaking free from the collective itself, because this energy is telling us we're already woven into the collective. We can trust our own impulses, right? We're not acting in some way that is going to be causing harm in this world. And that's really important to remember, that sometimes we don't need to go through all of the checklists and systems and that are in place, because oftentimes those systems just don't serve us. And this is showing us right now, the systems don't serve us for what is stirring within our hearts. We will find new ways. And maybe this energy isn't sustainable. It's not. It's not sustainable, but it's available for us now to get momentum, to go and to create that new trajectory that breaks free of any old patterns that we have followed in the past, so that we literally get on a different path. And once we're on that different path, then the next steps will come into view. Then this energy is going to shift into something else. Okay, so let's move on to our final card, which is a very interesting and powerful one. So this is our wild card, the Magician, number 1. Okay, so I have to say, first of all, we have never gotten this card before in these forecasts. Wait, there we go, that's better. And this card, I think, is one of the most complex and mysterious and almost like this sort of enigma. And maybe there's other tarot people watching this that disagree with that, but I have always found this card very mysterious, because think about it, this is number 1 in the tarot. So the major arcana follow an arc, right? And a lot of people associate the arc of the major arcana, which is 22 cards counting the Fool, which is 0, as like the Fool's journey, as the hero's journey. It's a journey that we go through from start to completion, and then we start the cycle over again, right? So it's not linear, it's cyclical, but it's still a cycle. This is number 1. This is the beginning of our journey, right? And it's the Magician. And the Magician has mastery over the elements. So you see all the elements in this card. We have black for the element of earth. We have red for the element of fire. We have yellow for the element of air. And then we have blue for the element of water. We also have green for earth here. There's other things going on. And then we see the 4 suits here. We have cups, swords, wands, and pentacles. So the Magician has mastery over all of the elements. And this is at number 1. 1 is also unity with spirit. We are one with spirit, our soul, right? So this is almost like the mastery that we came into this world with, that we have all forgotten and we have to relearn. This is our original blueprint. So that's why this card is so mysterious, because I wouldn't say, yeah, when I was a baby, I knew all the secrets of the universe and I could manipulate my own reality, right? I wouldn't say that about myself. But this is saying that everything that we need in order to shift our own realities, in order to manifest what our dreams, our visions, in order to shift the world around us for the greater good, it's all within us. It always has been within us. We have already mastered it on some level. We just have to remember it. Magicians shift reality. They shift the physical world for a certain purpose. This can be for dark or light, right? So we often see in the media, representations of the magicians doing things like black magic, and doing curses and things like that. And yes, that exists. And also the world of magic has for most of time existed for the greater good, so that we can impact reality for the greater good. so that we can actually shift our paradigm, so that we can shift this world that we live in and begin to weave something really beautiful here on earth. So this card is revealing to us our power. This card is all about power, and it is about coming into oneness with the powers that already live within us. So this energy is both a claiming of the I am water, I am air, I am earth, I am fire, I am spirit, and a suspension of those things at the same time. So that's a juicy little paradox for us to chew on, because we suspend it because we are not attached to it. We are allowing these energies to move through us, act through us, spirit to act through us, rather than claiming it as a part of our personality. This isn't part of our personality. This is us opening ourselves to be a conduit for the energies to work through us for our own highest good and the highest good of all. For those energies to be working through us to bring this into full, glorious manifestation within our world. So in some ways, we are both claiming the I am spirit. I am earth, I am fire, I am air, I am water. And also, I have nothing to do with this. I have nothing to do with this because I have no plan or procedure that equates to this in the end. There's no blueprint for this yet. So I allow myself to become all 5 of those elements in order for it to work through me so that this can manifest into full, glorious reality. And I allow that alchemy to occur within me as well. And that alchemy manifests as this energy, right? So this is happening in stages. We're going to wake up one day and be like, you know what? I suddenly have the impulse to go and do this, and it makes absolutely no sense to me why I would want to go and do this right now, but I'm just going to trust myself and do it because Charlotte showed me this card was a gift. Things don't line up in a linear way, right? We have no idea why Spirit might be giving us an assignment to go do this random thing on this random day when it was not the plan to do it, right? We need to be like, oh, Charlotte also said to feel free to hijack the plan, right? Plan doesn't matter. What matters is to trust myself in the moment. And if I feel all of a sudden this impulse to go do this thing at this place at this time, then I'm just going to go do it because apparently there's something there that I need. And I might not even know what it is in the moment. It might be like an incredible lead or something, but it might be like, okay, that was random. I have no idea why I was called in that moment. It might be weeks later where like all those pieces come together, right? It's like you're collecting all the ingredients to put in your pot and you needed that one ingredient for the pot. And you're like, oh, that was why I was at that random place at a random time. So we're not going to know what we're doing for a while. We're just going to be following along, being like, okay, yeah, I'm going to go do this thing. And I don't have a plan. I don't have an agenda. All I am holding is this picture. And I know this is true. I know this is going to manifest in the most glorious way possible. I have no idea how or why yet. And I am just following it step by step and allowing the alchemy to happen within me. And it's not that I'm not going to be using any skills that I already have or continuing what I'm already doing, but I'm not going to get stuck in what I'm already doing. I'm not going to allow that to hold me back. I'm not going to sacrifice this for this. I'm going to allow myself to be very flexible in the coming weeks, to allow myself to be very surprised, led in very new directions, to allow something totally interesting and unique to be woven through me and for the greater good. So that's our forecast for today. Thank you so much for being here and following along. And just on a personal note, I am going through a total rebrand. I'm not even sure what the outcome of that rebrand is going to be. I am living the energies that I just shared today, as I always do, right? If it doesn't apply to me, why would I be sharing it? So I'm still offering one-on-one readings, and maybe that will be in the foreseeable future. Maybe not. I am not sure, but I will share much more about the rebrand as it is further illuminated for myself and as Spirit tells me I am ready to share it. All right, in the meantime, see you next month. And if you want a one-on-one session, the links are below.